Ohio students in trouble and what KU's policies are.
Also, a plan to fix the state school funding budget. We have exclusive interviews with representatives who say it may be harder than you think. KUJH News starts now.
From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Hello everyone and welcome to KUJH News. I'm Caroline Burkhardt.
And I'm Tiffany Littler. If Lawrence Police get their way, the city will build them a new home.
The department narrowed the site list down and has a preferred location, but not everyone thinks it's the right spot. KUJH reporter Jackson Kurtz is live on the west side of Lawrence. Jackson, is that the spot the city is considering?
Yes, it's one of the spots on the table, and it's fair to call it the front runner as of now. And this area is located near 6th and Wakarusa. Not much to look at now, but it may possibly one day. This site is city-owned, which is one of the reasons why the police department plans to spend millions of dollars at this location. The city-owned site is 29 acres wide, and it's approximately the area where, they plan to build, but no one will sure know until the meeting, just north of Overland Drive, and exceeds the recommended site size requirement. Now, the advantages of this location, that is close to both I-70 and K-10, with roads leading to Clinton Parkway. It's also reasonably close to the police department's investigation and training center. Now, the one disadvantage of the site is that it is not near where much of the crime in Lawrence occurs, but it is in where future growth may happen. The other location is Venture Park, which is located on the northeast side of Lawrence. The park is a 200-acre industrial park and overlooks 23rd Street with a straight shot to K-10. Ventures Park advantages that it's in close proximity to Douglas County Jail and is much closer to where a majority of Lawrence crimes are committed in Douglas County, and is also close to where the training center is located. Now, the City Commission meets Tuesday night where they will discuss the bidding for the process of this location, which may affect where the location of it may be built. Here in West Lawrence, I'm Jackson Kurtz, KUJH News.
Updates coming soon. Thanks, Jackson.
Well, don't get used to today's warm December temperatures. They're about to change big time. Let's go to Shane Martin in our weather center. No more 60s, right, Shane?
No, but it's still in the 60s right now, but change is about to come right now, and actually it is just past it. See this thin band of clouds right here passing through the Kansas City area? That is a cold front that has just been past us right now. We have a low pressure system up in the upper Midwest that's causing blizzard-like conditions, but here right now it is sunny and 67 degrees. Those temperatures are on the way down. We have clearing skies and we have winds out of the west at 25 miles an hour, and it is still gusting well over 30 miles an hour. As you look, that cold front has just barely passed Kansas City, so they're still in the 70s. Expect those temperatures to come down. While we are at 67 degrees, Ottawa's at 64, and Topeka at 63. While the rest of the area is in the low to 60s and upper to mid 50s right now. Our average high this time of year is 46 degrees, and we barely missed our high temperature by about 1 degree. And we've had no rain, and I do not expect any for the foreseeable future. So, coming up next, I will have all the details on our watches and warnings below the area. I'll let you know when our temperatures will start to decline and just how cold we will get. Tiffany, back to you.
Thanks, Shane. Nearly 100 students at Ohio State University are facing disciplinary action. They're accused of using an app called GroupMe to cheat in class, and many KU students use that same app. KUJH reporter Lauren Davidson looked into this for us. Lauren, is this app commonly used for cheating?
Tiffany, not exactly. GroupMe is an app many college students use to communicate with classmates. Some use it to ask questions about homework, others even share study guides for exams. But here in Lawrence, many students don't know if KU even has a policy for using apps in class.
The Washington Post reported the students at Ohio State used the app to share answers on assignments throughout the semester. That's what led to the disciplinary action. Becca Adler is a senior at KU who uses GroupMe. Adler says it's very popular on campus. Almost every single class she's taken at KU has had one. Students ask about due dates or any questions they may have about the homework.
As long as people aren't sending their answers and people aren't directly copying from that shouldn't be academic misconduct.
KU does not have any policies that prohibit GroupMe or other apps. Instead, the student handbook says academic misconduct can include giving or receiving of unauthorized aid on exams or other classwork.
KU's policy is a catch-all policy, and I think it's there to protect the integrity of the education.
KU Ombudsman D.A. Graham thinks KU's policy covers situations such as what happened at Ohio State.
They keep it ambiguous like that in order to encompass those situations that may not be as concrete.
But Graham does think KU will need to revisit its policy within the next few years to stay current with technology.
A student guilty of academic misconduct at KU can face penalties ranging from warnings to grade decreases. It can even lead to expulsion from the university. Specifics are on the KU website. Live from the newsroom, Lauren Davidson, KUJH News.
Thanks, Lauren.
The Kansas State Legislature is starting its spring session early this year, trying to fix a long-lasting K-12 funding controversy. Some members will begin to meet today to develop a new financial plan. KUJH reporter Madison Coker is at Free State High School in Lawrence. Madison, what's on their plates?
Kansas legislatures are scrambling to fix the school budget. This comes after the Kansas State Supreme Court denied the school budget of raising it $485 million over the next 2 years, saying it was just not enough.
Lawrence School Board President Shannon Kimball says teachers have taken the largest hit when it comes to cuts in school funding. She says more money would allow the board to do two important things for its teachers.
It would allow us to give them pay increases, which have been very, very minimal over the last few years. In addition to that, we would like to be able to spend more money on professional development for our teachers, and that's a really hugely important thing.
Kansas State Democratic Representative Dennis Heiberger says the Supreme Court did not give the legislature a precise amount to raise, but the minimum would be around $200 million per year.
I think we're getting better revenue results than we anticipated so far this year, so that will help make up some of the difference. But I think we're still going to have to find some money somewhere, and I have no idea where that's going to be.
Kansas State Representative Tom Sloan says he believes the legislature will look at a small revenue enhancement opportunities. He says without more money, state colleges and universities will also take a hit.
Failing to get new revenues, I expect higher education will again receive less than adequate funding, and we will continue to delay or defer our contributions to the state retirement plan.
Kimball says the board will present its endorsed legislative agenda the week before the official session resumes in January.
Well, I hope that they will take the Supreme Court's direction and really think carefully about how they can revise the current school finance formula to better meet the directives that the court has said that the legislature needs to meet, and truly attempt to achieve both adequacy and equity rather than put yet another Band-Aid on the problem.
Since 2018 is an election year, both Sloan and Heiberger said that representatives will not support adding extra taxes as a way to earn that revenue. Reporting live in Lawrence, Madison Coker, KUJH News.
Pi Kappa Alpha is officially moving onto campus. They're taking over the house of a sorority that did not have enough members. They are planning to lease Alpha Gamma Delta's old house on the corner of Indiana and 11th Street. Pike left campus in 2010 for the same reason AGD did, low enrollment. The fraternity currently has 114 members. They say they plan on using the same recruiting techniques they've been using since they started back up 3 years ago. Pike will be moving into their new house before the fall 2018 semester begins. Now, Caroline, I'm not in the Greek life, so how important is this?
I mean, it's always really fun to live in the house when you're in, Greek fraternity, sorority. So I'm really happy for these folks. It's going to be fun for them. Sure. Still to come on KUJH News. What one local grocery store is doing to become even more eco-friendly.
And how the School of Theater's winter play aims to break the stereotype of the typical sorority girl. Stay with us. One local business prides itself for selling green and healthy foods. KUJH reporter Dan Garrett shows us that it will soon be even greener.
When you think of the Merck Co-op, green, healthy, and local are some of the things that come to mind. In addition to being good for your health, the Merck is now taking steps to help the environment. That's because this grocery store is installing 688 solar panels to power the business.
Demonstrating care for the environment So it's something that really matters to our owners.
It matters about $1,200. That's the average cost of each solar panel. Since the MERC is leasing the panels, they won't receive a tax break, but will be able to pay them off over time.
Payments are just going to be like a fraction of what we're paying already in electrical bills. And with our electrical bills coming down, it really helps offset that cost.
Henneke says that even with all of these panels, the grocery store will not be able to completely run off of solar energy.
Grocery stores are big energy hogs. We use more electricity than most building types because of the demands from the refrigeration, from the lighting, the heating, and the cooling.
The average monthly energy bill for the MERC is almost $10,000. After the panels are up and running, the bill will be around $7,500. Even though the panels use solar energy, cloudy weather shouldn't be a major factor.
The cloudy days and the snowy days and the sunny days have all kind of been factored in.
The rooftop solar panels will go into service by the end of this year. The next phase will consist of installing carports with solar panels on the parking lot. This is scheduled to begin in the summer of 2018. Reporting for KUJH News, I'm Dan Garrett.
The MERC says it will take 17 years to pay off all of the panels, but it is worth it in the long run. Well, I don't know about you guys, but it's been very warm today.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to look like that the rest of the week?
Feels like
No,
spring.
today is the last day, and the fact is actually changing right now. We've had that cold front come through, and it is starting to really cool down out there.
All right, are we possibly going to see snow in the future, or we still got a little ways for that?
We actually probably won't see much of anything in the form of precipitation in quite a while, so hopefully. But right now, if you look outside, we can see all of our plenty of current hazards that we have out and about right now. You can see we have wind advisories up in northeast Kansas. We have red flag warnings, wind advisories, special weather statements, and even a severe thunderstorm watch in Missouri. That red flag warning goes until 6 o'clock today, while the wind advisory goes until 5 o'clock. The severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri goes until 9 o'clock, so if you're driving east through Missouri, be careful. You're going to see some heavy rains, gusty winds, and large hail. And we have a special weather statement here. I'll have a little bit more on that a little bit later. Tonight is going to be about 27 degrees. It's going to be clear, and those winds are going to shift from the west and northwest. They will still be very windy at about 15 to 25 miles an hour, with the gusting still up over 30. Whereas tomorrow we're going to warm up to about 48 degrees, so about 20 degrees cooler than the day, and those winds will increase from 10 miles an hour in the morning up to 25, gusting at times over 35 miles an hour. Now, the reason why we're going to be in a special weather statement tomorrow is mainly for our fire weather concern. You can see behind this cold front we have very low dew points in the 13, 14 degree range, and combined with that wind and the dry, we're going to have plenty of fire weather, so that fires won't take long to spread at all. We're going to start out at 28 degrees in the morning and warming up to 46 degrees, and west winds at 30 to 23 miles an hour. We're going to warm up to about 45 degrees, and we're only going to be about 30, and this is for our total precip for the rest of the year. We are only going to be about most of the month through the December 20th. We're only about 3/10 of an inch of rain. As you can see, we're going to have temperatures steadily decreasing to a low of 36 degrees and a low of 20 on Friday night. Back to you.
Coming up next in sports, men's and women's basketball continue to win, and a couple hours west, the border war continues on the volleyball court. The latest next. Coming into this weekend, Kansas was one of 7 schools in both men's and women's basketball to be undefeated after 6 games. After this weekend, it fell to 5, and the Jayhawks still remain. Men's basketball took its talents to South Beach Saturday to close out the Hoop Hall Invitational. In the past week, it's been the Devontae Graham show, and Saturday was no different. After a 35-point performance against Toledo Tuesday, he followed up with another one. 35 points, 5 assists, and 58% shooting earned him Big 12 Player of the Week, NCAA.com Player of the Week, and Lute Olson National Player of the Week. He currently ranks 3rd in the Big 12 in scoring and 2nd in assists. In that same game, a Graham alley-oop to Lajerl Vick in the second half made SportsCenter's top 10, and Dickie V went crazy.
There's another lob. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. What a catch. Hughes made a little run, and now it's up to 17. Take a look at this catch.
Graham, Vick, and the rest of the Jayhawks will make the short trip Wednesday to Kansas City. They will host West Washington in the Jayhawk shootout at the Sprint Center. Tip-off set for 8 p.m. Another Jayhawk on a tear also plays on the hardwood, junior forward Kylie Kopadic. In Game 7 of the team's 9-game homestand, Kopadic has scored double-digit points in all but one of them. Sunday against Arkansas in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, she set a career high with 28 points on 50% shooting. I don't think anybody expected such a successful season to start out, but after a combined 14 wins over the last two, the team has already halved that mark this season with a 7th straight victory, their best start since 2011-2012 season. Second in the Big 12 in 2014, a Final Four in 2015, and a Big 12 championship in 2016. Now, after drawing Mizzou and Wichita in another edition of the Border War, a 5-set loss provided heartbreak. It's the second year a ranked Jayhawk team got bounced early despite what appeared to be a favorable draw. This loss hurt a little bit extra as it concluded the career of seniors Anise Avili, Kelsey Payne, and Madison Rigdon.
Definitely the best decision I made to come here and play with these girls. We've done amazing things here. We've built this program up and we've become a national name, and I'm just grateful I got this opportunity.
Yeah, I don't regret a single day. I know that, especially tonight, but the past 4 years we've all just played for each other and wanted the best for each other and just like grown as people and as athletes. And so I think, like Anise said, coming to Kansas was like the best decision I ever made.
I agree. Best decision I ever made. I knew when I took my visit I wanted to be a part of this family.
Rigdon and Avili have received 5th years by the NCAA to play sand volleyball at Arizona State next year, while Kelsey Payne has offers to play in Europe. And guys, it's been a blast to give you the sports this semester, and I'm getting a little emotional over here, Caroline and Tiffany.
I don't know, that volleyball loss made me a little emotional as well.
To Mizzou, too. It's always sad to lose to Mizzou, especially when you're KU.
Yeah, well, I was very surprised by that basketball highlight, and that was an amazing shot by our team. So I'm pretty happy with where we are.
That was a fun game to watch at home.
So my question is, Shane, when are we going to get cold weather again? When is it going to feel like winter?
Well, it's probably on Friday and Saturday morning. That's when it's going to feel the most like cold weather, because that's when we're going to be at 36 degrees, and that's about as cold as we're going to get for this upcoming week. We're going to get a little bit colder the week after, and it wasn't as cold as it was supposed to be because that cold air is kind of staying a little bit more off to our north. We don't have to deal with the blizzard, thankfully. But, I mean, it's weather, so it's nice. I don't mind it. It's really actually just closer to average, which isn't too bad.
We get a KU snow day sometime in this winter, because I've been here for a while and I'd like to get one.
I don't want it to snow unless we get a snow day.
Well,
that's our KUJH newscast for this Monday.
To see our stories again or to share them with your friends, check out our website at tv.ku.edu.
We're back at 4 on Wednesday. Have a great night.
From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.